If you've run into a snowbank going 10 miles an hour, you're probably not from here. And today we're going to talk a little bit about a perspective from a native and what it's like to be a native, but also some of the kind of pompous pieces that Colorado natives go through. Don't worry if you are moving into Colorado or thinking about a move from Colorado. I have helped many families relocate here, and I'm not that guy. I hardly ever complain about the California drivers or the Texas people thinking that their Mexican food and their version of Mexican is so great, or the people moving from Florida or anywhere else about their sports teams or any of that. So we're going to get through that. We're going to talk to you about that, and we're actually going to dive fully into exactly what it takes to earn your native badge if you're thinking about relocating to Colorado, or maybe you have recently relocated, as I've helped so many people do recently, actually. A lot of people from Texas recently coming here, and that's where I just came from. And I was in Austin, and I was realizing that they also have kind of a pride. We're from Texas, Texas born, Texas grown. And it got me thinking about Colorado and how we as natives interpret the situation and kind of act sometimes. So, first and foremost, let's talk about driving in the snow. Okay? You can always tell who's from here, who's not, before it even snows. Right? When the weatherman comes on and he's talking all about, this big snowstorm that's coming and so on. Back when I was in school, we didn't used to cancel at the threat of snow. In fact, I don't think I had a snow day from 1st to 6th grade, but my kids, who are homeschooled, have snow days. And a lot of times it's when the county thinks a big storm's coming. Most of the time it's come, but we are a little bit more liberal, so to speak, in the quick trigger on canceling school because of snow. But here's the deal. Native Coloradans are out there. They got their bald tires. They understand how to pump their brakes. They have the right vehicles. It's crazy. We don't even really have two-wheel drive vehicles. And if they do, front-wheel drive has an absolutely massive piece. Right? But here in Colorado, the show must go on, and this might be a generational thing because the show did go on for school, like I said, for 6 years straight, through snow, through all of it. But the truth is that heading into winter, all you need to do is make sure that you have good tires, you have a front-wheel drive, preferably four-wheel drive, and also understand that you can't stop regardless of the tires you have on ice. So that's the first thing. That's a dead giveaway, right? You see someone flying down the road, and I'll be honest, native Coloradans do this as well. But they are usually the first ones that say, okay, that person must not be from here because they're driving like they're from California or Texas or Kansas. Sorry, Kansas. There's lots of snow in Kansas, though, so we won't go there. But for some reason, even like the northeastern states, right? They come here, and it's just a little bit different, right? Maybe we have a little more speed. Maybe they're used to being in stop-and-go traffic all the time anyways. So that's not necessarily the case unless it's rush hour and so on. But this is the biggest one. Good tires. Make sure you have windshield washer fluid because we use a chemical instead of salt or sand now. Because if you have windshield wiper fluid and it's running out and then, they're de-icing the roads and it gets on your windshield, it's literally like a film on there. So you can always tell, when that light comes on, the warning, washer fluid low, or maybe you have a car that doesn't even have that, make sure you're aware. That's huge. But it is the dead giveaway, right? And then we have the white knucklers who are going slow, slamming on their brakes every time a light turns red or a brake light comes on. Also a dead giveaway. Slow and steady wins the race. Pump your brakes and make sure your car is fully equipped. that's the first way to not be a dead giveaway. But also, once people get that and we get in the flow and we can actually go places when there's 6, 12, 18 inches of snow on the ground, that's where it's like, okay, maybe this person is a representative of somebody who could potentially earn the all elusive native Colorado badge. Next, we're going to talk about Mexican food. Right? We don't have Tex-Mex, we don't have Colo-Mex, we don't have, any of that. We have traditional Mexican food. When it comes to traditional Mexican food, you have green chili, right? When I've been in other states, I ask them for green chili and they give me a cup of Salsa Verde, green salsa. Yep, absolutely, that's what happens. Or as my good buddy Travis says, salsa, right? My good buddy Trav moved to Alabama and he decided to call it salsa so that his children would say it like that when they grew up. We'll see. It's still out on that. But green chili as we go, right? It's a roux-based actual chili. You can have a bowl of it. It'll make your breakfast burritos like shine. Breakfast burritos are, amazing, right? Then once you get into the green chili and you're trying it, they do make it mild. If it's hot, it's going to be hot. I like spicy food, and sometimes I don't get the hot. And then you'll get into the Santiago's versus Chubby's argument, or all these new pop-ups and gastropubs have these amazing breakfast burritos, right? Bonfire over in Golden. And the truth is, the great separator is the green chili. Is it inside? Is it on top? Is it smothered? But if you're looking for salsa verde because you just like that with a little Tostitos lime, don't ask for green chili, ask for salsa verde. But once you get into the mix, right, and you're having that green chili and you understand that it's a staple at the, watching the Bronco football games and so on, then we have to talk about our sports. And here's the deal. I go to sporting events. I'm a huge sports fan, native Coloradan. I've been here since the Avalanche moved here. We're pretty nice to them because they won the Stanley Cup the first year they're here. Broncos, Nuggets, they're kind of the staples. The Rockies, I'm pretty sure that their ownership isn't from here because clearly they don't care about winning. But it did take a long time for that stadium not to fill up because we're such passionate sports fans here. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that have moved here. Chicago, St. Louis, and even weird places like Tampa Bay. Why would you move to Colorado from Tampa Bay? I don't know. Maybe you like extremely dry, and you like your skin, whatever, and you don't want your hair to poof out, right? So maybe you move here from Tampa Bay. But I go to Tampa Bay Lightning Avalanche games and there's hundreds, thousands of Lightning fans. I'm like, their franchise is 25 years old. What's going on here? But the truth is that Colorado fans see the opportunity in selling their tickets for high dollars, right, to these out-of-state fans. So for instance, I was at the Red Wings game the other night. The Red Wings and the Avalanche used to be bitter rivals, goalies fighting, blood everywhere, cheap shots, always playing in the Western Conference Finals and the time to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And I was at a Red Wings Avalanche game literally 2 weeks ago. And the Avalanche won, by the way. But the Red Wings scored first. And you couldn't really tell, I don't know why, but all of a sudden, it was a sea of red. Went crazy. And I was like, whoa, there's a lot of Red Wings fans. It looked like 75%. Probably because most of the Colorado fans were up still grabbing their beers and hot dogs and whatever. But that was the only goal they scored. And it was really interesting to me because I was like, okay, let's talk about this. And I will tell you that Red Wings fans, Colorado fans, exiting the arena, back in the day, it was you don't say anything. If your team won, if your team lost, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it from the Colorado fans. So maybe there's not as many of us, in the arena, but the people that sold you the tickets for 3 times what they paid for them are waiting outside and they're going to tell you about it if the Colorado team wins. This Red Wings Avalanche series, the Red Wings moved to the Eastern Conference and that kind of faded out. I actually had a nice conversation with a couple from Detroit. And I said, Red Wings, huh? I was like, were you here back in the day? And they said, no, we moved here in 07 or 08. I was like, okay. I was like, you would have had a very different experience, you know, in the late 90s and early 2000s. But it's really interesting to me because I get frustrated. Like, if I wish there was a box on StubHub that said, if you're, you know, who are you rooting for? Okay, you can't buy my tickets or you have to pay me 10 times the price. But unfortunately, that's not allowed. So the case in point is here, you will have friends at the game. Say you move here from Chicago, you're at a Cubs game. Cubs obviously travel well. It's not a very good example. Say you moved here from, I don't know, Anaheim, right? The Mighty Ducks. Or maybe the Ducks, did they change that? I don't know. California. It's a whole thing. Truth is, we don't change our team names usually, so that's cool. But anyways, when you come here, you'll probably have a bunch of fans wearing the Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck jerseys, cheering every time Anaheim gets a shot or, you know, whatever. But then afterwards, you're going to hear it, right? It's like we either have strength in numbers and 10x our trash talk if we're winning, or like all the people that sold their tickets are waiting outside. They went to the bar, they, you know, have their tab paid, covered all their tickets, and probably can buy their kids something super nice or pay for their kids' gymnastics for a month, right? But this is the next piece, right? Understanding that culture. Don't be that guy at a sports game who's going to start fighting, right? Who's going to do it, right? The Raiders, Broncos, absolute worst. I literally can't take my kids to Raiders Broncos games, even though we've both been pretty bad for a long time, because the first time I went and sat my season tickets, I literally was counting like 7 fights going on at the same time. Like, we can't expose that. But so don't be those people. Like, cheer, have fun. I'm going to give you a hard time. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, that's a whole different story. By far the most annoying fan base on the planet. But the point is here, go cheer on your team, have fun, have tough skin, and don't like try and fight, because Coloradans don't really want to fight over their sports teams. We love them. It's inherent. We'll cheer for them. We're used to them losing for the most part. We've won a lot of championships, but those are like here and there runs as we go. But that's the final step, right? After you've figured out the driving, after you've mastered green chili and maybe can make it or just know right where to go order it and enjoy it however you want to enjoy it. Don't go for the super X hot because it's super extra hot. And you can maintain, you've developed a lifestyle around green chili, and then as a sports fan. Once you do that, we're pretty cool. Because the truth is, most of our parents moved here. Very few pioneer native people, 3rd, 4th generation. There's some. Those are the OGs. But myself, I'm a 1st generation Colorado native. And so this is just my advice to you as someone who might be moving here. I am a realtor too, by the way, so that's cool. And if you would like my assistance and my coaching, not only to help you purchase a house, but to help you move here and earn that native badge, the truth is you can do it probably within the first couple weeks if you really feel that vibe and you understand and you watch this video. Snow tires, front wheel or 4-wheel drive, slow and steady, wins the race, pump the brakes if you need to, don't slam them, turn into the swerve, those kind of things. Green chili, and then your sports fan. And the truth is, a lot of the people that come here, eventually their team sucks, and then they end up falling in love with the passion that this town has for its sports teams. So, with that said, if you're thinking about relocating, this is exactly how you get that native badge, how no one messes with you. You just kind of fit right in. Start there with those 3 things. Call me if you need anything. I got your back. Lived here my whole life. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So, hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.